Intrepid investigators. They had just escaped from Home Sanitarium in Greenwood, Rhode Island, which is a little bit north of Providence. They had captured or rescued, however you want to put it, a young boy who appears to be about 12, 13 years old, dark hair and eyes. You saw him in the room. After you smashed the equipment, you ran over and looked in the room, and he looked like he had a seizure or something, and then he passed out. That's when you returned, when you woke up from that nerve pinch or whatever that you got, and you and Washington got the kid out. You ran downstairs, you climbed out of the back wall, you ran to where Miss Porter, the poor deceased Miss Porter's vehicle had been located that night, and climbed in, started up, and drove away. You found Captain Scott on the street on the way as you were driving, and you picked him up. So right now, at present, we have you're in the driver's seat. Where did you want to be sitting in the car? Anywhere you want besides the driver's seat.
I don't know. In the back.
Okay, so you're in the back seat with the kid. He's in the back seat. Probably, we're going to say Washington, the black man, Quincy Washington, is also in the back seat, probably hunched down, trying to stay out of sight. And Captain Scott will be up in the front riding with you.
Right.
And we'll be eliminating, getting those other PCs kind of out of the picture as quickly as possible. Where do you want to go? It's probably about 1 a.m. 1 or 1:30 or 2 a.m. because you guys went in late.
I'm making a beeline straight to these apartments that we were staying at.
To your house, yeah, basically your apartment. Yeah, you can do that. It's probably a 20-minute drive. Well, yeah, 20-minute drive through town to get there. Fast, slow.
Yeah, pretty fast.
Okay.
Pretty,
Are you breaking any
pretty
speed laws, or are you gonna try
I'm just
to?
like gliding on that like speed limit.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just,
Okay.
Like, I'm not really like breaking any laws.
Okay, but you're making your way as best you can. All right.
That's it.
Do you guys want to discuss anything en route, or do you want to wait till you get there?
I think I would probably be like talking about it in the car.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Man, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened or what that was, and I just want to go back home and go to sleep and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure that I could sleep after all that. Like, what did he do to my neck? It's just like,
It kind of hurts, like there's a
Yeah.
bruise.
yeah.
It's kind of some
Sore.
kind of monster. I'm like, what was he doing with this kid? I don't know.
We should, I don't know, I guess we should talk to that old man. Like, why did he even send me in there?
The old man.
The older character, James, or the James character get killed. Is that right?
That's what Miss Porter told you, that he got shot. He got gunned down there in the basement. You didn't hear any gunshots until those two dudes showed up.
That's right.
I don't even think your character saw them go through the portal, because you were watching the door. You came and told him about it, and then she came running out, and then two guys came out of nowhere. So there must be a secret panel or something. It's probably your guess down there. So you didn't see him. You have no idea what happened to him. Officer Bridges is who that is.
Okay, so I'm thinking we should talk to that older character who's living with us in those apartments.
Oh yeah, the fancy.
Pendergast?
Yeah.
The NPC? Yeah, he's got an apartment upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Probably.
what was he doing messing around with this place, especially downstairs? It was just weird. It was like magic. I've never seen anything like it. I thought it was all fake. I don't know what to think.
Yeah, I think I've only seen one other thing like it, but I don't have a very good memory about that. But yeah, I've got the goosebumps.
Okay, so you drive back. You drive back to your apartment. Where do you want to park the car? You park it on the street or right in front of the building. You park it down the street. Where do you want to park it? There's not really a parking lot for this building. It's more in a residential area.
I'd probably park it there on the street.
Okay.
Like,
You park it on the street. Captain Scott is wearing still like medical scrubs or medical like his little inmate's outfit. So is Washington. They both kind of slink off. Captain Scott says, He still has his gun. Washington has the other 2 guns that he picked up. He is going to. They're both just going to get out of there for now. Captain Scott is pretty much just going to let you know he's going to go back to Miss Porter's apartment because that's where his stuff, where he's been staying. Washington doesn't tell you where he's going, but he does take note of the building that you 2 are heading into. What about the kid? He still appears to be unconscious.
I should bring that. I don't mind bringing him into my.
Probably to a hospital.
Or, well, if we went to the hospital, they'd probably recognize him as like a hospital patient. He's already in the guard.
That's true.
For the mental hospital.
Well,
And then they'd probably make us to break it if we reported.
right, that's right. Well, maybe we should try and keep him in one of our apartments and wait till he wakes up and see what we can do about it. See what he remembers, why he was there, why he was hooked up to all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We should. Do you want to put him in your apartment?
Yeah, I don't
love
mind.
this kid.
I don't mind
Okay.
at all.
You're Blankenship, right?
Ken Blankenship.
I have Richardson written down erroneously there. Okay, so you pick him up, you take him up to your apartment then? Okay. Yeah, you can put him, where do you want to put him? You have a couch, you have a bed, there's a chair, probably a comfortable chair,
Yeah.
a kitchen.
I'm gonna make the couch really nice.
Okay, so you got some blankets on there for him and everything. Yeah, it's cold out. It's December. This is actually technically December 1st, so it's cold. It's still foggy. It's been foggy all night. Where do you want to go? Just going back to your apartment too? Okay. All right, so he's set up. He's fallen. He's either asleep or unconscious.
Is he still like breathing?
He seems to be breathing steadily. He appears to have gone from unconsciousness into into a deep sleep.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna leave like a glass of water next to him
Okay.
in case he wakes up.
Okay.
And it's probably like 1 in the morning or like 1:30 or something.
1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. You're pretty tired. Yeah.
I'm probably gonna head to bed myself.
Okay.
To be honest.
So you crash. You go home and you go to sleep. Or well, right downstairs. You're on the ground floor. He's on the second floor. The night passes uneventfully. You both wake up. The next morning is actually let's see, December. It's actually December 1st, which is a Tuesday. Ooh, indeed. You're really tired. What are you guys doing on Tuesday?
First thing I guess is I want to check on my kid and see if he's still asleep.
He is sleeping lightly. When you enter the room, yeah, he's sleeping right now. He's like rolled over on his side, facing the back of the couch at the moment. Cool.
Well, how old does this kid look?
12 or 13, maybe?
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I've got a picture.
That's pretty young. So,
Yeah, he's little. He's probably your size in real life.
is
Maybe
it
a
like
little shorter.
a breakfast bar
But-
downstairs?
No. This is a little apartment building. There's just apartments, and they're downstairs. All you've got is the foyer with what do you call it? With mailboxes and stuff. Her apartment's down on the ground floor towards the front of the building, across from the superintendent's apartment. Yours is on the second floor in the back.
Well, I'm probably I'm fixing something to eat, like for breakfast. So,
Okay.
check my cabinets for
Yeah, you got food in there.
things.
You probably have little bits of food. What do you want to do today, Kaitlyn? Just in general, are you going to
Make
work
food
today?
and probably go to work and
Okay.
try to just not
Not
think
fall
about
asleep.
what happened.
Okay.
Richard just woke up.
It's about time. Okay, so Logan, when you're making breakfast, the kid stirs. Here he is. It's kind of like that. Do you get a newspaper, Kaitlyn, in the mornings?
Yes.
Okay. When you leave your apartment, usually the newspaper's there. It's not there this morning. Yeah, it is a little strange. It's been there every day, or right around 6 a.m. or by 8 a.m. when you leave. Or actually, you probably have to get work at 9. So by 8 a.m., it's usually there's a newspaper there.
I've made enough food for 2 people.
Okay.
And I guess I've made 2 plates of like grits and eggs or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm gonna sit on the chair and he eat and like sort of like lay his on the like coffee table.
Yeah. Okay. He looks at you. He's looking around very carefully, like he's just studying your apartment. Like, he doesn't appear to be scared of you or anything like that. Your character's big, isn't he? Kind of burly.
Yeah,
He doesn't look like he's scared or anything like that. And he picks up the fork, the utensils, and he starts to eat. He eats kind of clumsily. Yeah.
Cool.
He doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Well, I'm a sort of eat too, and I guess I'm not really gonna say anything either. You know.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait until he's comfortable enough to speak to me.
Okay. Caitlin, there's usually also a newspaper at the Historical Society. One is just brought in. It doesn't arrive till 10 a.m., which is really late for the morning paper. The first thing that catches your eye is the front page headline news story. Do you get a newspaper?
I don't think my character really does.
Okay.
Probably just asks around.
Do you have a radio?
Yeah, actually, I was about to say if I could turn on maybe the radio or something.
Manhunt for Quincy, Washington continues.
Manhunt.
Yeah, that comes on after there's some music, and then a news flash comes on. And it basically goes on to say that apparently a great gang of ruffians attacked the asylum in Greenwood, Rhode Island, last night. In the early mornings of this hour, 2 of the assailants were killed in a laboratory, probably looking for drugs or other substances. Meanwhile, Quincy Washington's gang has helped him to escape. It is thought that one of the other inmates of the asylum, a John Thompson, was in on the plot. They kidnapped a small child, a Jeffrey Quarren, thought to be in hopes of using him as a hostage. They go into descriptions of Quincy Washington, and of John Thompson, who sounds like Captain Scott, who sounds like the redheaded guy that you helped escape. They're pretty decent descriptions. It's also known that these men are thought to be armed and dangerous and should not be approached by local citizens. Police have given a few other comments. The asylum was, what you glean from it is that the asylum was searched at some point, and it was, again, the guess was that there was the ruffians that fell into fighting amongst themselves. 2 of them were killed in the basement, and yeah, that's what you hear. And right now the manhunt started in Greenwood and is moving to the rest of the county, looking for Quincy Washington and his murderous associates. There's no mention of any woman dying.
Yeah.
There's no mention of any cops being killed, like Bridges. You do notice that. So.
Well, first I thank my lucky stars that they don't have a description of me.
Yeah, there's no description of you. There's no description of the of Miss Hagger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no identification of the 2 dead men. They said the 2 dead men were not carrying identification. They have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
But the manhunt continues.
Jeez. Well, I hope these guys are on, listening to the radio as well. I have no idea where they are.
No, they just left.
Jeez, more power to them. Good luck on to those guys. But,
And police are also looking for the whereabouts of Jeffrey Quarren. They give a description of him. Blah blah blah.
now, I guess I try to find a station that isn't like about the news.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's plenty of music. That's when the kid talks to you for the first time. He says, "Jeffrey Quarren, that's me."
Yeah, we see that news. That news broadcast was about me and my friends, but it's got it all wrong. See, I'm not in any gang. I'm not out for drugs or anything like that. Okay, Huh?
I should do this for the kid.
But
There was a woman. I saw a woman.
yeah, we all
She
we
had
were there.
glasses on.
Oh yeah. Well, I believe she was with our group as well, and we were just trying to bust out one of our friends, but But once we saw you, we couldn't help but bust you as well. You looked like you were in pretty bad shape.
Yes.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't feel threatened here. I'll take
What was your purpose in rescuing me?
I was in it I was just helping out because I needed some extra money. But we were just gonna bust out one of our friends who was there under false pretenses.
Hmm.
And we heard that they were like keeping him against his will, and we didn't like that. So we just like snuck in there, got him out of there, but it turns out to be like far more mischievous than we thought. It just seems to be.
I heard Dr. Fragan's voice.
Yeah. He's not what he seems.
He's exactly what he seems. He goes back to eating his eggs.
I'm a little creeped out by the boy. Yeah.
He is giving a kind of a vibe off that you're not used to when you've dealt with kids before.
Yeah.
And he really doesn't seem to be worried that he's here with you. A complete stranger.
Yeah.
That was high. So, okay. Yeah.
Do you have any family?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Are they in? Are they in? Insert county name that we are.
I think it's Providence County.
Providence County.
He says, yes, they live nearby. They are considered wealthy. That is why they put me in the sanitarium, to teach me how to speak again. I could have learned much quicker without Dr. Fragan's help.
Learn to speak again. You seem to be speaking pretty straightforward to me.
Yes, he taught me well, so that he could get information from me.
They're just using.
But I'm still tired, so I'm going to go back to sleep. Try to.
Yeah. Get your strength back, little kid.
Yeah, he rolls over and goes back to sleep.
Thanks.
Anything else you want to do that day?
You
You don't have a job set up for today, so your day's your own.
No. I'll actually probably go see Pendergrass
Okay.
next door.
Pendergast is not home.
Oh.
He works during the day. You know that. It's a Tuesday, so he's probably at wherever his office is, but you're not sure of that because you've never had to visit him.
All right. Then I don't know. I guess I'll probably look for I don't know. Some
It's okay. You can just.
some menial work to do around the apartment.
Yeah, you can do that. Yep. The supervisor, if you're like offering to do work, he can find work that you can do, and he'll pay you a little bit of money.
Okay. Yeah. That's probably what's on my mind. So.
Okay. You have a lot of trouble not thinking about what happened last night.
Dang.
Because you watched her basically get killed in
Yeah.
front of your eyes. So it's a little disturbing. It's distracting during the day. Okay. It's raining. It's a cold rain that day. You don't have any. Your class gets canceled that night, so you can actually have the evening off when you return home to the apartments. Your newspaper's there at this point. What do you want to do?
Probably go up and check on him and the boy. And see what's...
Okay. Tap, 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 Logan, on your door. Is it cops?
I don't think it's the cops. Just like from the tone of the tapping.
It's
So
not.
yeah. So I walk over to the door and open it up.
Hey, I was just wondering, like, how the whole kid situation is going.
He seems fine. Have you seen the news?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
jeez.
pretty shocking.
Yeah.
So I hope they get the newspaper.
She's got a newspaper in her hand, and she held that up. You can see the
And I
headline.
hope they have a newspaper so that they see.
Murder escapes madhouse, 2 dead. Such crazy boys are about to know.
Yeah, they're trying to hunt down that black guy we were with, and other people. And that doctor is talking about how he was just fearing for his patient's safety, which is not true.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
And then they had to stay from the doctor.
yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear that on the radio. Obviously, the radio was
I
paraphrasing.
was lucky to get away with my life, he said. So that was. I think we were lucky to get away with our lives. I think he's lying.
Our character's eating a sandwich.
Yeah, you've made a sandwich. Yeah, but you're having an early dinner. Actually, the little kid is there. He's eating too. He's sitting on the couch, eating his sandwich as well.
So
The boy seems really fine, but I feel like maybe we should try and keep him out of public eye.
yeah,
Just the manhunt doesn't escalate.
they're trying to find him.
Yes, Dr. Fragan will probably want me back.
You don't want to go back, do you?
No,
It says
no.
he
Dr.
has.
Fragan tortured this body.
It says that the boy has typhoid fever, so maybe we should quarantine him.
It's not true. That's what he was telling people so that he could get away with locking me down in the hallway by myself.
Oh, okay.
Now you went into the room. Actually, you did too because you pulled the doors off. You guys saw all the torture instruments that were in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just making sure we wouldn't die.
You probably will if Dr. Fragan finds you.
But let's hope he doesn't. We
It is
survived
to
it
be hoped
once.
for,
Maybe it'll work.
Are there-
He got really upset when I kicked a machine. So.
Those machines are what were. He goes back to his sandwich.
Well,
Yeah, that's weird. We talked to him about why he was in there.
not at length. But if there's any more like children in that place, then we should probably try
Are you a
to.
creepy monster too?
No,
Okay. I've had enough.
I'm a normal human boy.
I've had enough of creepy monsters.
And actually, you could both do me a psychology check if you want.
I don't know.
I
Not
don't
that
think
children
a human boy would say I'm a normal human
You can tell me for free. It did sound kind of weird what he said. You probably have pretty low psychology checks.
I mean,
boy.
That's
I
percentile
can't
dice.
be sure, but
These
sound
what I rolled?
Yeah. What's high? What was going to be high? Dark or light? You get
Um,
99 anyway.
I got a 96 or a 69.
What are you
So-
going to use for the high rolls from now
I'm gonna use the yellow one.
on? Okay, so that's a fail.
Um,
But yeah, you can make any inferences you want from role playing from me if you don't make those kind of rolls.
a 96 is a fail.
Yeah, you want to roll underneath the psychology, which should be in parentheses. It's probably not. Yeah, so your character hasn't studied psychology at all, but it's a way you can tell if somebody's acting weird or lying to you. And in this case, the normal human boy seems to be fine. But you can also make any of your own judgments based on the way that I have him act as well, or anybody act. Right now he's just kind of eating the sandwich.
Well,
Ooh,
do you think creepy monsters would eat sandwiches?
Yeah, I get a vibe, but I don't get a creepy monster vibe,
Okay. Alright.
to be honest.
I just don't want to deal with any more of those. Well, let's just try and keep our heads down, stay away from that place.
Well, if you don't stop Dr. Fragan, you'll probably have to deal with hundreds of them. And then he goes back to his.
Them, what?
Are there more
Hundreds of Dr. Fragans?
Dr. Fragans?
From his gloating to me, he has planned on using his newfound science to change not only him. Well, he's already changed himself. He was his first test subject. But he also plans on doing it to his associates up in the hills, the worshippers of Orwasa.
Okay.
By your standards, they're all quite mad.
Worshippers
Okay.
of Warwasha?
Orwasa, the silent shouter of the hills.
I don't believe I've ever heard of this.
Yeah,
He's an old god. He's very old. So, you wouldn't have.
Should I know about this guy?
I wouldn't know why you would.
Is he, so what was he doing to you in that place?
He needed information.
Yeah, that it looked like a lot more than information. You were hooked up to all kinds of stuff, and there was like scary things on the walls, and I
You mean the torture implements or
Yeah.
the electronic implements?
both. They were both kind of scary. What's the electronic things for? What was the machine doing?
The electronics were merely to keep me there. They set up a magnetic resonance field that would not allow me to leave.
Is that all it takes? Like, why wouldn't they just like tie you down or something like that?
Well, he was tied down too,
Yeah.
and the door was locked. The resonance field made sure that I couldn't leave. This will be hard to explain. I don't know if I should. I'm really not supposed to.
We rescued you.
Dr. Fragan will not allow me to continue doing what I need to do unless he's actually stopped either.
What do you need to do?
I mean, we're already in this
I mean,
for the
I
long
don't think I'm
haul.
Well,
getting
no one will
out.
believe you if I tell you anyway.
Well, we might believe you. We saw some messed up stuff. Magic portal and people being
A
shot.
portal? He has a portal?
There was a portal down. It was like a brick wall, but then you touched it and you go through to this cave, and then there were people there, and the guy got
He
shot.
created a gates to somewhere then. He needed the electronic equipment to keep me in this body.
Okay, what are you? You're not a boy. What
No.
are you?
Well, my race are historians. We study. We learn. I am here to observe this time period and this place in human, to observe humanity for our records. And everything that I observe and learn will then be written down and kept by my people. I'm a historian.
So you're a creepy monster historian. Okay. We
Creepy monster seems to be a bit speciesist.
I don't know what to call you. You're a creepy monster.
You can merely call me Jeffrey. I will stay
Okay.
with the name Jeffrey Quarren for now.
Alright.
When I first came here into Jeffrey's body, I was not, well, we jump blind, don't we? And so it takes some time to learn the local languages and to learn local customs. In that time, Dr. Fragan recognized me for what I was and knew that I would have information that could help him on his quest for power. And so tortured that information from me once he taught me the vernacular, the language that I needed to understand so that he and I could speak.
This all seems pretty far-fetched, but
Like, what was Dr. Fragan? He wasn't a person anymore.
There are creatures in the world called Shoggoths. There aren't many, and they might all be dead, according to certain sources they are at this juncture. They, what Dr. Fragan has done is combined himself, has made himself into something like a Shoggoth. They were creatures that were made to be slaves and food by a race that inhabited this world 1 billion years ago, called the Elder Ones, or the Elder Things. They are terrible, horrific creatures, and Dr. Fragan wished to become one. Unfortunately, I was not able to resist his tortures. Pain is not something that I am used to dealing with, and so I told him what he needed to know. Did you find any notes? He took copious notes.
I don't believe I have any notes. But,
They're somewhere in his asylum.
He started to try to kill us, so we left.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has transformed his body into, I suppose it could be called a proto-Shoggoth, and has complete control over changing it and making it into various shapes, extruding limbs or
Yeah, he didn't even seem to be like taking it. Like we shot him multiple times, and that would have killed any other man.
his body is probably very resilient. Shoggoth themselves are almost impossible to kill with the weaponry that you would have at your disposal. However, Dr. Fragan is not completely a Shoggoth. I would think that if enough firepower could be brought to bear against him, it would potentially destroy him. There is another way.
To kill him without bullets.
Well, there is a formula. There is a formula that is quite useful actually against the Shoggoths. Are either one of you a chemist? Do you know anything about chemistry or pharmacy? I suppose I could put it together myself if I had all the right equipment. It is a formula that if wait, let me make sure. A cellular solvent. It breaks down cells. If it's splashed onto him or poured onto him or injected into him, it should start to break down him in its entirety. I would think it would be very effective against him because he's not actually a Shoggoth. He's more of a man who can act like a Shoggoth.
Neat. I mean, that sounds pretty dangerous to any foe, or in my mind.
Yes, yeah, it would.
That sounds like a pretty good thing to
It
carry
would
around.
probably be. Wait. Yeah. It could also be used. It is a poison, an acidic poison. It could also be used as a poison, or dumped on someone and hurt them fairly badly. I would think that Dr. Fragan, with the veritable soup of organisms that he is now, would be even more susceptible to it.
Awesome. Can these materials that you acquire for this poison be found relatively nearby? Because I would hope you craft such a poison. Because I don't feel like this guy should continue with his experiments, and I'd rather see that he's finished instead of just running away from this.
Well, I have no malice towards Dr. Fragan, but I don't want to be put back in a cell and tortured anymore.
That makes sense.
I'm afraid that he would probably want more information from me.
Are there others that he's torturing? Certainly, there must be.
I don't know. I haven't seen the outside of that cell since he taught me to speak English.
No.
So.
How long ago was that?
That was in April. No, wait, he wouldn't know. That was I don't know. Not several days, several weeks after I was institutionalized. He took that long to teach me, and after that, he tortured me. It was not pleasant at all.
This isn't a very pleasant person or a situation. I think we should tread very carefully. So, about these materials.
Yeah, he can give you a list. If you give him pencil and paper, he can give you a list. It's a fairly long list, but it's all stuff you can find at hardware stores or get in pharmacies across the counter or that kind of stuff. You can't figure out how this would go together to make anything. He also has some beakers and stuff that he will need in order to prepare the solvent, depending upon how much you want. Bunsen burners, that kind of stuff, to cook it.
I don't immediately know where to find these sort of things, except at like the hardware store.
Yeah, tomorrow we can go shopping.
Yeah.
And then bring back all the stuff he needs and put it all together for this weird thing.
His notes are probably also somewhere in the asylum on how he's doing what he's doing. I don't know if that is of any interest to you or not.
I just want him to stop.
You will probably have to kill him to stop him. Unless you can think of another way.
Yeah, I'm thinking break in and splash him in the face. And
Sounds good.
maybe burn the whole place down after doing it